sort of have recorded so many of the sort of well-known studios, and there's always these massive pressures for time because of the budgets. They're so expensive, you know, and that's quite a boring thing to say, but it does actually have an impact on creativity, you know. And I think that some of the music we've been trying to do, especially on the last couple of albums, has been pushing towards where we need as much time, we need more time, you know, and so time is becoming a real problem. So we kind of felt that really to get some of the ideas out that we wanted to try on this album, we're just going to have no restrictions on time. So the only way to do that was to make your own place. So.
What was the ratio of lean to fat, you know, in terms of pieces of music that you recorded and wrote compared to what we hear on the album?
It's as lean as can be. We wrote 11 tracks.
Whoa!
And that's it.
What? So it's that in essence, Matt, is a concept album.
Yeah. I think that's the other thing that's quite unusual. It's the first album where what you hear is all there was. You know?
I mean, that would suggest to people that it was written with a concept and a frame in mind.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some sort of you know, I don't know, keystones or sort of central themes for me that I was clinging on to. I reread the book 1984 short before sort of approaching a lot of the lyrics.
That's a comic for you, isn't it?
yeah.
By your usual standards.
Easy
that's light reading. That's toilet reading.
but in reading it, because I read it once like in school or something like 15 years ago or whatever, you know what I mean? It was all about the politics. But when I read it this time, I was much more taken by the love story in the book, you know, between Winston and Julia, and the sort of the sort of love story with a backdrop of political sort of unrest, or you know, or this sort of dictatorship type thing that's going on in the book. There's something in that I related to. The line on the second song, "Love is our resistance," is kind of like the key to the album. I think, you know, it's like it is about political situation, especially being English, living in England the last 7 years, with you know being taken into 2 wars that we don't agree with, and having a leader that we didn't vote for, and the MP scandal, the banking crisis, all these things, being and all the CCTV stuff that's growing in London. I think all these things, being English in the last sort of 7 years, has been quite an experience compared to other places. I think with living in England. I think the first sort of eight tracks are very much down to earth. It's kind of that, you know, that love story within 1984. Sort of that's a sort of overdramatic version of what I suppose how I feel, you know. But then the ending of the album, it goes completely off the wall. I think, and it goes.
Let's talk about Exogenesis, which is you at your conspiratorial best.
Yeah. That's sort of completely going. I mean that's about the journey.
It's out of this world, literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
In this case, you seem to have found the romance in it and actually made it something that is a really positive thing. With the symphony at the end.
Yeah. I think it's just I mean, it's the emotional idea. I mean, the emotions I'm trying to put across, I suppose, is the idea that there is something. We do have a connection to space that we are yet to discover. I mean, it could be that our DNA has travelled, or bits of it have moved around, or there's bits of us that are elsewhere. And I think there's that sort of feeling of not wanting to be just completely isolated on Earth, you know. And I think it'd be nicer to believe there is something out there. And you know, I'm not really religious, and I don't really believe in aliens, but still, there's an emotion that's inside us that wants there to be something.
Really impressive watching Matt come up with particularly the string parts and all the arranging. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really amazing, because the thing is, Matt plays like, you know, the kind of loose, call it classical, you know, Chopin style piano all the time, and some things relate to the band, some things are just loose, free form classical kind of music. And ever since I've known him, I've always spent a lot of time like just standing by the piano, like listening to him play and going, oh yeah, that's cool. And you know, some things seem suitable for the band, and some things are just so berserk. And this was our moment, an attempt of bringing in all those berserk things, the pieces of music that are really, really free and really loose, into a bit more of a band form. So yeah, I suppose it's hard to, you know, really find the right direction for songs, but it comes quite naturally through experimentation, playing together. I think initially when we first started playing the songs, we just thought we'd try and play them like as a live band, you know, because we thought, hey, we're pretty good as a live band, let's just go in there and just rattle through them. But it was just a bit okay, you know, it didn't really have much experimentation in there, or kind of a lot of diversity between the songs, really. So
must have helped for structure, I suppose, in terms of like mapping them out a bit.
It was good, yeah, but we'd done a lot of that before, but we actually took that approach when we actually pressed the record button.
Oh, right.
And but we decided to like scrap that approach, and then ended up like looking at the songs individually, stripping them all back, kind of dissecting them a little bit more, and building them up and working on them, and experiment with different layering ideas and all sorts, until I suppose we thought every song had a really good character, you know. And I think eventually a song started to take on its own kind of face and character and its own personality, and at that point, you know, that's when I think the three of us knew the song was heading in the right direction.
Yeah, the last line I think on the record is, "It's our last chance to forgive ourselves." I think is it the last line on the record, which, you know, I think some people could see as quite a morbid way to end the record. I actually see it as quite a good release, you know, and it's quite a positive thing, you know.
Yeah.
And do you think that actually, not to go too deep into the subject matter, but this is a tipping point, do you think, for for mankind.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like to speak generally about mankind, but I mean, I say certainly from a down to earth perspective, in England, things have got to change.
We've done well to record 5 albums so far over like 15 years or whatever it's been in this band. So you know, as long as you enjoy making music, you can continue to move forward.